So we're going to start off by looking at the website. Now the website is controlled by a content management system called Weebly, and what I've done is on the church office Google Chrome browser, which is what we're looking at here, I've created this folder up here called CPC. So what you would do is you would click on that folder and then you'll see a series of links that will allow you access to different systems and websites that we use for day-to-day working within the church office. And obviously on this occasion we want to go to the Weebly page because we're going to do some work on the CPC website, the Colinton Parish Church website. So click into there first, and what will happen is their landing page will load up, and this is where it shows you a little bit of information about the kind of stats on the website, how many inquiries have been submitted for both the church and also the Dreghorn Loan Hall down here. But the first thing you want to do is go into press edit site, and this should take you into what they call a WYSIWYG editor. WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. So as opposed to having to know lots of code and lots of HTML, we've made it a lot simpler by just using a system where it's a drag and drop interface. So you've got text boxes, you've got picture boxes, you've got title boxes, you've got buttons and searches and all the rest of it, but really all of these can be dragged around to wherever really suits. What we need to do today is we need to update this graphic here, which shows you the content for the forthcoming Sunday service. And in order to do that, we need to create the content for the forthcoming Sunday service. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a file I've got already set up in Publisher. So you would go into Publisher, and then if you press down here, you'll see it says Pillbox Designs for Website. The reason it's called that is because this kind of curved box here is known as a pillbox when it comes to web design. So that's what we've called it in the Publisher file. So you would open up that file, and then you'll see at the top there that there's the one that I used for last week. And what we're going to do is basically update this information for the forthcoming service. So it's going to be Sunday the 3rd of February. There we go. It's not a communion service, so obviously we can take out that line. And the title of this service coming up is Old and New. Now there's two services, so we want to say early service at 9:30 a.m. And we can take out the faith and fitness bit because that was only specific to last Sunday with Sunday Club. And then what we want to do is essentially copy the above line because we're going to do a similar entry. Paste underneath and change this second one to morning worship. And obviously we also want to change the time, so it's 11:15 a.m. for this service. Sometimes what I have to do is I need to make the text fit into a space. So occasionally I might need to change that to tighter. That wee service there where it says AV is character spacing, and they've got a drop down and there's various ones you can choose. But usually tight or normal is what we would stick with. And then the subline for this service is basically going to say with choir and organ. And then we'll take away that capital W. Publisher's got a bad habit of auto-capitalizing starts of sentences, so you can turn it off, I think, but more often than not I just kind of go back and make the change and promise myself that I'm going to change it next time, but I've never really got around to doing it. Okay, so the last bit we want to put on this pillbox is the reading reference for the forthcoming service. And if I bring this back up, you should see last week's reading, and this week's reading needs to change to Luke 5, and it is 36 to 39, is it? 33 to 39. 33 to 39. And just put a line spacing in there. If your line spacing is too big, like that one is there, what you need to do is highlight that space and then reduce the font size for just the space, not any of the text, but just the space, and then it fits in quite nicely there. And what I'll probably do is make the pillbox itself just a little smaller so that it looks quite balanced. Alright, once that's done, and that's all ready as it is, we want to convert that whole thing into a graphic to drop into the website. So we would highlight all the content there. There's two boxes there. There's a text box and there's also the pill box. So once you've highlighted the two, if you right click on them and go to save as picture, so once that's done, you can close that pillbox file in Publisher, save it so you've got the content for the next week to work on. And then here, if you click into this space here, a wee menu will pop up, and what you want to select is Replace Image. When the second box pops up, press on the green button right in the middle, upload a photo from your computer, because obviously that's where we've saved it. And what you want to do is navigate to the WebWork folder and find the one that you've just created. Alright, so that is that one there, and if I press open, you'll see that it then changes over to the one we've just created. And the last thing to do after you've made any changes to the website is make sure you hit that publish button, because if you don't, then anything that you've done is just going to be lost. It's like not saving your work in Word or Excel or something like that. Make sure you press publish and wait for the confirmation to come back that the site has been published and it's been updated. What you can then do is close that wee box and then open up a further tab so that you can actually check what it looks like, because remember, you're only seeing what the Weebly version is here, and you want to see what the general public are going to see and make sure it looks right. So open up a new tab, go to the CPC folder again, and then you just want to find CPC website. Not Weebly this time, but just CPC website. Click onto that and it'll take a wee second to load up, and there you can see that our new pillbox with detailing the content of the forthcoming service on Sunday has been updated. So that's updating the website.